Okay, so thank you for coming along to tonight's class if you're listening live, and thank you for tuning into it if you're watching a recording of it or listening to a recording of it. It's the 22nd of March 2022, and this is a 4-week course on recognizing and understanding dysfunction, where we're looking at it as meditators to bridge East and West, to help use Eastern models of the mind and dysfunction and Western models of mind and dysfunction and Eastern models of calming the mind, clearing the mind, so we can understand things and make sense of them. And when we use both of them, we take away the blind spot. The Eastern side doesn't understand, has no content for dysfunction, abuse, and things like that, personality disorders, depression, all these sorts of mental health doesn't have those. And the Western methods just didn't have the ability to clear all the busy mind away to be able to analyze and investigate things more carefully. And to enhance healthy states of mind through marinating our mind with skillful means, wisdom, kindness, and all these sorts of things that we deepen in meditation from the head to the heart. That's why I'm teaching this, to bridge between the two. I'm not the only person doing it. There's been a movement I've watched over the period of 5 to 10 years of people doing this. To some degree. As an awakened teacher who's been through quite a lot of emotional and psychological abuse, and healed from a lot of it. Who knows how much anybody's got anything left in them. I feel I'm well qualified, if you like, through experience and practice to guide these and help. So, keeping it simple, dysfunction is a check, a very simple check. The image I've just got that's come to mind is, little children, when you get them different shapes and they've got a box and they have to try and fit the right shape through the hole and it drops into the box, or maybe a star or a square or a circle or something, and they try and fit them through. I don't know what sort of age, 18 months old or something. It's a bit like that, right? Is this dysfunction? Can I pass it through the shape of dysfunction? Will it fit? And that is, are my thoughts and feelings being respected? Really simple. Are my thoughts and feelings being respected? We can all disrespect somebody's thoughts and feelings once or twice, We can always be a bit condescending or patronizing or rude or dismissive or judgmental. We're human beings. But is there a repeated intention to disrespect our thoughts and our feelings, especially in intense, upsetting situations? We can all be a bit crass, we can all be a bit blunt and things, and tired. But when somebody's quite distressed or disturbed or traumatized or burdened, then our empathy kicks in, our compassion kicks in, our conscience kicks in. And in those times, we'd all like to think that we were softer and more caring and more not dismissive and things like that, disrespectful. So we can look at that. We can look at the context and the circumstances as well. If we're having a blazing row, we're going to say stuff we don't mean. We're going to disrespect people's thoughts and feelings, or we got caught by anger. So we need to be careful to decide when these things occur. The most extreme example might be when somebody's very calm, we're very upset, and there's no reason for them to disrespect our thoughts and feelings. They're not hot-headed. They're not caught with the green-eyed monster of jealousy or anything like that. They're having a normal sort of day. We appeal for care. We appeal for compassion. We appeal for support. We appeal for understanding. And then that gets dismissed. That's a real warning sign, because there's a context there where it's really quite clear. So we have to be a little bit discerning with this teaching, with this filter. Essentially, if somebody is constantly or repeatedly dismissing our thoughts and feelings, then they're acting dysfunctionally. Could almost, you could potentially say abusively. And I'll cover this more in week 4 in different ways in which people can disrespect our thoughts and our feelings. Now, this may have happened to you when you're a child. It may have happened to you with a certain teacher if they were picking on you. It may have happened in times of distress with family when you've reached out to them for support, empathy, understanding, and they've come back with responses that you go, ouch, oh, that really hurt, kicking me when I'm down. It may be we're expressing an opinion on something and somebody repeatedly is bloody rude to us about our opinions and our feelings. Now, I've got a little bit of a caveat to this, that opinions don't have feelings in themselves. We can say some stuff that's really stupid. We can all say some. I did it the other day. What it was. I can't believe I said that. That's so daft. Something really basic. So we can all do that. And if somebody wants to laugh at that, that's fine. Not to laugh, don't want them to laugh at me, but they can laugh at the fact that what I said was a bit daft. I might have an opinion on something that's cuckoo. Somebody wants to sort of laugh at it. I can think, well, they find that funny. Especially if we can see for ourselves, or essentially if we can see that what we've done is a bit of a gaffe, we just, added up 2 and 2 and got 5, as it were, then that's not the end of the world to do that. And some people have some really quite bonkers opinions and ideas. And comedians are good at this. Comedians mock thoughts and ideas that are silly. They send them up. They're not sending the person up, sending up the idea. So we have to be a little bit shrewd in how we're looking at all this. I'll come on to that in week 4. So we're going to do a body relaxation and a breathing meditation, which I won't record because we do the same every week. And then we'll do a meditation quite similar to week 1 and 2, where we allow our mind to very naturally and gently go back into the past and do a diagnostic, a check. Has this happened to me? Using this tool, has this dysfunction occurred in the past? And the way we feel it is we feel perturbed, we feel upset, we feel dismissed, we feel dissonant rather than resonant. It drags us down rather than lifts us up. Okay, so I'll pause now. We'll do the body relaxation and the breathing meditation. Then we'll do that second meditation as a way of embedding the method in our mind. So we've done the body relaxation and the breathing meditation. If you've done this at home, or you want to pause now and do it, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, mantras, whatever relaxes your mind, brings it to peace, and then continue listening to this recording. So now I'd like you to allow your mind to do an inventory, an assessment. Just check back. Where and when have people disrespected your thoughts and your feelings? Maybe they've dismissed them out of hand, or diminished them, ridiculed them, ignored them, spoken over them. Particularly repeatedly. Maybe start from early childhood and then work your way forwards. When you find a situation, a person or people, then consider how this would have occurred. Maybe there's a myriad of ways. Did people say things like, and we'll cover this in next week, but do they say things like, oh, it doesn't matter, or keep your hair on, didn't really mean it, that's a stupid idea, what are you saying that for, it's only a trivial thing, not now. Things like this. Or laugh, humiliate, mock, deride. If this invokes unpleasant feelings, then please be gentle with those, allow them to be here. If we can't allow them to be here, we won't be able to do this assessment, so it's important. Just let whatever feeling arises and check the reality of the situation. Has there been this dysfunctional element to a particular relationship? Don't be afraid to do this meditation on your own. Truth brings understanding and peace, but it's not always an easy thing to do. It may be that for you doing this exercise, both physically, spiritually, sexually too, as somebody respected you sexually, as somebody respected you or dismissed you sexually, or your boundaries, or physically your boundaries, as well as emotional and thoughts. Have they dismissed your beliefs, your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, belittled them, mocked them, dismissed them? This can leave scars. The crux of this exercise is that it wasn't your fault. This was not your fault. This was dysfunction from the person on the other side. Part of the exercise is to recognize that it was not our fault. Sometimes people make us believe that these things were our fault, that it's okay to deride and dismiss and ridicule and step over boundaries. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. So whether this happened to you as an adult or a child, it's not your fault. When people insist that mocking and disrespecting us is reasonable, it casts doubt in our mind. Maybe we deserve it. Maybe we've done something, or maybe we are stupid or silly or promiscuous or physically weak or whatever it might be. It's not our fault. So what I'd like you to do for the last minute or two is just to run all of this or any part of this through this filter of it's not okay to disrespect people's thoughts, feelings, spirituality, body, emotions. And to recognize that it wasn't your fault. This starts to remove doubt. The function of this meditation part is to remove doubt about these events. It removes the thought, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe it was my doing. Maybe I deserved it. Maybe I had it coming. Maybe it's all I deserved. Maybe it was tough love. This can happen at home, at work, socially. On the sports field, in the bedroom, on holiday. If you want to repeat a mantra for this, it wasn't my fault. Quite helpful to repeat these things sometimes to bring it from the head. We can intellectually understand something wasn't our fault, but we have to deeply believe it and trust. We actually have to trust that it wasn't our fault through repeating the mantra, holding the events up to this simple filter where my thoughts and feelings, my boundaries respected. Okay, so before we come out of meditation, just allow yourself to notice how you feel. Allow those feelings to be here. Don't let them overwhelm you if you can. If they do overwhelm you, then just notice that. If they don't, just observe them. It's okay to be overwhelmed too. It's not a fault. It's just a natural part of the mind. And then we make a commitment to ourselves to be nurturing, to be gentle and nurturing towards our past, things that have happened. And then when it feels comfortable, we just gently allow our eyes to open. Thank you. Thank you for joining in tonight's class. I say anything that develops truth brings our mind to peace. That may seem like quite a big paradox when we're looking at things that are quite intense or deep or painful, but we can hold pain and peace at the same time. We can hold shame and peace at the same time. We can hold understanding and peace at the same time. That's why I think it's so beautiful to mix the East and the West, because this is what it gives us. It gives us the chance to make sense of things that are difficult and heal, mixing it with peace. So thank you for joining in. If you want to see some of my other videos, then please visit my YouTube channel, Paul Follows Meditations. And if you want to sign up to a newsletter, well, not a newsletter, a reminder for these classes by email, that's on the front of my website at paulfollows.com. Thank you very much.